This is Green Day. Oh yeah, it's all in the key of F sharp. Here we go. Let's go right into it. It really sounds like they were listening to a lot of Black Keys at the time. All right, so for this, your index pretty much on the low E string in the A. Index is on the second fret of the low E. You hit that twice. Now the pinky, or you can use your ring finger, hits the fifth fret on the low E, and it's like kind of like a quarter bend. I use the pinky, and then the ring in the middle is kind of behind that string to help with the bend. You could use your ring finger, really doesn't matter. Down, down, down. Then after that, low E string open twice. Now the index finger to the second fret of the A, 3 times. So very slowly. The timing there is a little bit interesting. Hit that and then 2 quick ones. Now if you notice after the first hit, it's kind of like a staccato. You hit it and release the tension. It's not, hear that? And pulls off. And I even do a staccato on the after the first open E. The left hand just kind of mutes the note. And again on the last one, the third hit, again release the tension. Now after that, that's one pattern. The second pattern is you hit the low E string a total of 3 times, but a quick 2 hits. See, it's 3 hits, but it's more da-da. Now that part's a little bit interesting. 2 to the 4 on the A is going to slide in. I take the ring finger on the A string, second fret, hit it, and keep the pressure in as you're going this way. Okay, so slide to the 4th, second to the 4th on the A. Index finger then hits the second of the D. Index finger then hits the second of the A. So that all that second part of the phrase sounds like this. So if you put those 2 phrases together, you get this. So if you think of that as one collective, those 2 phrases, he repeats that a total of 3 times, and then you're into the chorus. Now it's interesting, if you're really listening to the recording, to my ear what it sounds like after, so you have that first riff. That part sounds like a bass guitar, just the first time, but you can play it with it. Second and third, it's with the guitar. Let's just put that together, all 3 revolutions. And he's going into the chorus. Very simple. 1 chord. He uses F sharp 5. Index is on the second of the low E. Ring is on the 4th of the A. Pinky is on the 4th of the D. 3 strings, low E, A, D. And if you think of that in measures, he's doing this. It's 8 bars, 8 bars. I said 8 bars twice. I don't know why. It's 8 bars. Each bar is 4 beats, so it's going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If you think about that, in each box, that's 8 down strums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If that's one box or measure, he repeats that a total of 8 times. So it'd be 7 more after that initial 8. So it'll kind of sound like this. We go really slow. Again, your left hand may get a workout because it's going to be pushing down on the chord throughout. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that's 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that's 2. 2, 3 and 4, and that's 3. That's 4. That's 5. That's 6. That's 7. That's 8. So it's a little bit quicker. Go slow with it though. Use your ears too. So after he gets done with the course, he plays before the intro. Remember how the intro, we broke it into 2 parts? He plays the second part of that intro before going to the beginning. So he plays this part. And what he does is he throws another open string in there. So instead of, usually this was the second part of the intro. Well, instead of the 2, he throws another open string. So again, second, index finger on the second of the low E, 3 times, bending on the 5th, this one, total of 3, da, 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 and then back into that. So he does that, and then he goes back to the beginning. And he repeats that one more time. Then what he does, he goes back to the chorus. What do you know? Your power chord part. Then there's, obviously, again, I forgot to tell you, during the oh yeah part, there's just drums and a vocal. There's really not much going on. There's a little bass part that comes after the second chorus, which is just... And what that is, that's just same notes you've been doing. Index finger on the second of the low E, 3 times, down, up, up, A string open, E string open, down, up, up, second fret of the A with the index. That's if that's one time through, he repeats that twice. So it's like this. This is just for the bass guitar, but you can also apply it to the guitar. Okay, then what he does, he goes back to the intro riff. Same thing, but at the end of the second phrase, instead of going, he just goes. So that goes like this. Which you know this part. You know this part. Just go into the second fret of the D. Don't play the second fret of the A string. Now he's going to go into this riff. Again, very bluesy. Unusual for Green Day. The record label must have been getting on him. Do something new. Okay, so ring finger is going to slide from the second of the D to the fourth of the D. Index finger on the second of the G. Ring finger on the fourth of the G. So you have... Again, with this slide, you push, keep the pressure in, and keep the pressure as you slide. Now there's a bend there. So all 3 fingers, index is on the second of the G, middle's on the third of the G, rings on the fourth of the G. It's a little bend, pushing in with all fingers and pushing the string this way. And then back to just the same string, you just release the bend. Index finger on the second of the G, back to the fourth of the G, back to the second of the G with the index, ring finger on the fourth of the D. So very slowly. Again. Okay. Now at the end, after that riff, the ending of the song, he definitely got this from a Sex Pistols song. For this, before we get into what I'd practice, is that F sharp 5 chord, just hitting the first two notes, the E and the A string twice, and then just the 4th fret on the D with the pinky twice. Just so you can learn the technique. But now what he does is he alternates, it's a little tricky, between the riff and the chord. So we'll go measure by measure. So what he does is, so he plays the F sharp 5 in the first measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then after that, he's going to go. Okay, the third measure, he plays that riff for half of the measure, going 1 and 2 and then he plays the full chord for beats 3 and 4 and. On the 4th measure, he does the same thing in the 3rd measure, going for the first 2 beats 1 and 2 and then full chord on beats 3 and 4, 3 and 4 and. The 5th measure, 8 down strums, a whole measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The 6th measure, it's all the full riff. It's kind of like the 2nd measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The 7th measure, it's all the F sharp 5 chord, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The 8th measure, it's just, again, the riff into the F sharp 5 chord, going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and your song's over. That might be a little bit tricky. Just keep going through it, and listening to the recording is key. Let's try all of that together. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 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 and 2 and 4 and. Song over. Song's pretty, there's some intricate parts in there. Take it slow, but it's nice that it stays all within the F sharp area, 2nd fret area. All right, this is Brant B Guitar signing off. This is Green Day, oh yeah. Remember to subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Songs you want to learn, styles?